It's mid 2025, but we're already talking about the election in 2026, kind of figuring out where everybody lies and who's going to actually run and those kind of details. And a couple new polls coming out right now. So I'm going to talk about the Democratic Party, who's in charge, who's actually running for office, and basically where they stand in the polls. Okay, so I'm reading a poll from Emerson College. All right, this was released Friday, and basically they're saying Mayor Pete Buttigieg is the number one choice for Democratic primary voters. So it's kind of interesting. Like, all right, who is this guy? Like, we all kind of know he ran for president against Biden back in 2020. He is the transportation secretary right now. He's the same guy that got caught being driven to where he was supposed to work, then hopped out of the car so he could get on his bicycle and bicycle again, saying he's the green guy who wants to make sure we have bike lanes going forward. He's the same guy who breastfeeds his child that he adopted with his male husband with artificial breasts. So it's kind of interesting that he's the number one guy, because the Democratic Party, they're the party of diversity, of course, and you got another white guy, and he is trying to relate to, just say, other cultures for that matter. And I'm curious, with everything I just said about who he is, like, where does that put him amongst people liking him? I mean, sure, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a lot of fun at a cocktail party. But at the same time, like, is that the position of masculinity that you want to have even in 2025? So I'm kind of curious how it works. David Strom from Hot Air came out and said Buttigieg elevated himself to the top of the Democratic pyramid based on looking and sounding like a nerd, just like the kind of guy you asked for from notes in college because you spent your time drinking beer and smoking pot. Okay, well, didn't smoke pot, but I did ask for a few questions from some of the nerds in my classes, and I'm like, well, that perfectly fits Pete Buttigieg. So that was kind of fun to hear that and see that. And I mean, if that's the best they have. So going forward, there's a couple other people obviously on this list too. So Kamala Harris, because she's now admitted she's not going to run for governor of California. Could she make another presidential run? See where that ends up. We've kind of seen her all out there just talking in circles of round and round about what she's going to do without any actual facts, but that's opinion, fine. Governor Gavin Newsom from California. Now, I find that very interesting that he's number 3. So again, another good-looking white guy. And for all the people that have left California, myself included, like, we ran. And you talk about escaping from California, and now he wants to run the country. And it's like, all right, I was just there visiting, and it's like gas is over $5 a gallon. Actually, it was about $4.58 or something like that, but depending on which rank. And I'm like, yeah, this is not working. $20 an hour for fast food workers. I mean, literally, I got 4 hot dogs, a chili cheese fry, 2 drinks for $26. I'm like, this is way, way too expensive for just a living basic thing. So I'm really curious of how Gavin Newsom, goes against things. He's been in all kinds of trouble as far as him and his wife with the fires that happened in the Pacific Palisades, all that money being, moved over to his wife's charity for $50 million. I mean, there's a whole bunch of mess of things that he either has done or hasn't done. And we did a video about the monorail, the train stations, the high-speed train that was going through, and just the debacle that is, the boondoggle that is. So I'm kind of really like, all right, now we'll see what happens on him. 4th was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC from New York. And I'm like, well, number 1, she's young. Okay, just take it early. She is young. She's certainly not John F. Kennedy, but she's young. Okay, barely even qualifies to run for president for the age limit. So, okay, just take that on face value. She's fun. Let's put it that way. Basically a socialist. I mean, there's a whole bunch of opinionated things about her. I don't really even want to talk about her, honestly. Anyway, in 4th, though, was Governor Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. Now, he is somebody that could be a potential. He was the Attorney General. He was on the House of Representatives. He was a county commissioner. So, I mean, he's done the thing to get where he's at, political science major and all that. He's a viable candidate, I would think, from Pennsylvania. I don't know a whole lot about him, but overall, looking on paper, it works out pretty good. So who knows on that one. And then, like, rounding number 5 was Senator Bernie Sanders, which I'm like, he's 83 years old. Are you serious? Another old white guy put in the office? I mean, we got Trump, we got Biden, You want another 83-year-old to possibly run. So, I mean, he's 83, 84, so he'd be 88 by the time he's done with a 4-year term for president. And then, God forbid, he's 92. No, I mean, no. It's just, I don't think, again, AOC's too young. He's too dang old. So I don't see that happening. One interesting thing, though, this Atlas Intel, they did a poll as well back in May. And all these people were kind of circulating on that certain poll. One thing they're leaving out, though, is Spartacus, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. And I'm kind of curious. I mean, he's 56 years old. He is, I mean, you got the great, good-looking African-American who's articulate and bright and clean and a really nice-looking guy, to quote President Joe Biden when he was talking about Barack Obama. But there, Cory Booker, I don't know why he's not on the list for the other ones. He has had those moments where he's trying to do all these things as a senator, trying to get it out there, dating movie stars. I mean, I don't know why he's not higher on the list. So there must be somebody pulling the strings on that one, trying to figure that out. But again, it's still early. It's really far in the advance of everything, but all these kind of people got to pull together and figure out where they're going to be on this thing. And then there's a bunch of political fringe names too, but we'll see. We'll see. So let me know what I missed, because obviously the Democrats aren't really my thing as far as following people. Who do you think is going to be the Democratic primary nominee going forward? Who are we going to see? Maybe put 3, put 5. Let me know in the comments. Keep the conversation open. This will be one of those things we look back at and we see again, like, all right, well, were you right? Were you wrong? Were we completely, totally off base? Was Atlas Intel and Emerson College even on track at all? But it is certainly an interesting dynamic of what is coming out of the Democratic Party as far as leadership goes and where we're going to be in all this. Anyway, put it in the comments. Let me know. Appreciate you subscribing, and we're going to keep striving for the truth between lines.